First, let's get the latest on the fire from Hannahmullins at the command post. Hannah.
Lynn Sue, a big portion of the 3,400 acres is because of the burnout. That means they're fighting fire with fire. The cause of her death is not yet known, although an investigation is underway. At this time, signs point to death by hypothermia.
Hannahmullins joins me now, and Hannah, oh boy, fans from all over the place were enjoying the action tonight.
They certainly were, and I'll tell you what, for folks from Flagstaff, hosting the Cardinals is a huge sense of pride. Watching them tonight boosted a lot of spirits.
Hannah, what's the very latest?
Well, Lynn Sue, this fire is growing in both size and intensity. The danger is almost palpable as the fire continues to climb across the hill right there. I want you to take a look at it because this is a fast-moving fire. Lynn Sue, high school is hard enough. Now, name calling usually comes from the kids, but this could be a case of a teacher talking trash. 15 minutes later, 313 steps up and 276 feet in the air. The roof's open and they're ready to play ball. With me now is Michael Murphy of the Maricopa Medical Center. Michael, what can you tell us about the severity of this situation? You can see cute, cuddly cubs like this at just about any zoo, but Coco and Kona are going to get a lot bigger, and when they do, you won't just watch them in their habitat. The police department tells me they're trying to understand how Johnson was able to travel across the country with no job and very little money because the math simply does not add up. Live in Phoenix, Hannahmullins, 12 News.
Hannah, thanks.
Hannahmullins shows us why these heroes are wearing pink to work. Hannah?
Well, and Sue, like most, this fire department is really close, and within this family, a wife fighting back against breast cancer. She was diagnosed just a few months back and has already had a double mastectomy, all this at just 30 years of age with a 5-month-old baby.
My life really depends on Chris and his on my decisions and actions.
So when Chris's wife Rhiannon was diagnosed, it shook this crew to its core.
Life was going great, now they're suddenly hit with this amazingly devastating disease.
They're used to saving lives by battling blazes.
We're real action-oriented people, and we want to be able to handle a problem and make it go away.
But this is a very different fight.
I'm actually getting kind of emotional thinking about all this. I mean, it really is hitting home a lot.
It's a fear this fire captain knows firsthand.
My mother-in-law just died of it.
Known to be brave, but another side has surfaced under those fire suits.
We are a bunch of softies when it comes down to it.
This week, they have support on their shirts, hearts on their sleeves, and hope in their hearts.
To say that the fire department is a family isn't an exaggeration.
Armed in pink, these everyday heroes fighting a different battle to help one of their own.
The guys get really close, and we work together a lot, and when something like this hits, it affects us all quite a lot.
They're wearing pink all week to show their support and raise money for medical bills. So they're also selling these shirts for $15 a piece at all fire stations in Flagstaff. I'm live in Flagstaff. Hannahmullins, 12 News.
Hannahmullins joins us from northern Arizona with details. Hannah.
Lynn Sue, in the past 3 days, I've talked to countless homeowners who insist this fire started on Tuesday night, nearly 15 hours before fire crews showed up. Now, homeowners haven't had a lot of answers until tonight. Nearly 100 people met with forest officials to get the information they've been waiting for. As flames die down tonight, homeowners are heated up.
No, that is not true.
Days of fear culminating in frustration.
From about 7:30 to 10, I don't know, do the math.
Bob Reich says he called in the fire Tuesday night, but only got a recording. His voicemail went unchecked as the fire started to gain ground.
So they closed the office at 6 o'clock and the dispatchers went home.
The Forest Service says they didn't get his voicemail until 7:30 the next morning, 2 hours before they were able to find the fire. By then, nearly 15 hours had passed.
Now, they did a good job out at my place protecting it, but it should have never got to my place.
Many residents resentful for the response time, but grateful for the help.
They saved all this. They stopped that fire at that Forest Road.
We just love them, like,
we love the firemen.
God bless you.
A simple sign with a big message.
Some people don't appreciate them as much as you should. I think it's great that they're risking their life for us.
Forest Service says when dispatch leaves for the night, an answering service is supposed to handle the calls. That service was not working, so we still have a lot of questions. We're working to get you those answers, like how the fire was started in the first place. But I can tell you the cost of this fire is already $800,000. That number continues to climb. Live near Williams, Hannahmullins, 12 News.
All right, thanks, Hannah.
Now a new spin on kiteboarding has hit the high country.
Hannahmullins joins us with a look at this extreme sport. Hannah, tell us about it.
Well, what do you get when you combine a board, some snow, and a kite? It's called snow kiting, and it's turning heads in the high country. It certainly caught my attention. Take a look. Gear up, clip in, hold on, and hope for wind.
That's what happens when the wind dies.
So when the wind picks up, the snow kiting starts.
You got to time the power of the kite. Basically, you're just snowboarding, except instead of going downhill and using gravity, you're using the wind. You can take yourself up a mountain with the kite.
No lift necessary, and at the top, you can pick your pleasure.
You can either pack up your kite and snowboard down, or if you launch up into the air at the top of a mountain and you have the right winds, you can essentially paraglide with a kite. So it's more like flying than kiteboarding at that point, but yeah, it's something people are doing.
What they're doing is defying gravity.
Snow kiting, kiteboarding, undisputed king of air sports.
The quintessential high for an adrenaline junkie.
And that's when kiting gets exciting, you know, when you can feel, hey, this thing is kind of trying to manhandle me here.
Manhandled by Mother Nature.
And it's mysterious, and you can't see it, and it's crazy powerful. They're fast enough that you don't really want to fall over, you know.
But you do.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
And it's all part of life as a kiteboarder. Now, Traveler stresses safety and says it's not for the inexperienced. He does hold free clinics every Saturday at 1:30 at Buffalo Park, which is just north of Flagstaff. There's also an event on April 3rd that's free and open to everyone. Live in Flagstaff, Hannahmullins, 12 News.
All right, Hannah, it's a disturbing image, I know, but if I wanted to try it, how much would it cost?
Oh, please call me and let me know when. I would love to see it. Now, if you're into skiing or snowboarding, you probably already have half of the gear, but you're going to need to shell out at least another $400 to get the rest of it, Mark.
All right, well, that'll talk me out of it. Thanks.
I would so pay for pictures of that.
That's right, Tram. Talk about adding insult to injury. First the fire, then a flood, followed by another flood, and talk that more may be on the way. At some point, you have to wonder how much more these homeowners will have to endure.
We heard a rumbling sound in the forest.
The sound of floods followed by fury.
We saw a wall of churning debris come right towards the house, and we got out of there. Pretty much hit our house directly. We came back, found about 2 foot of mud and debris in the house, pine needles, branches, neighbors' fences.
Ever since the last storm, people are still sandbagging and so on and digging out their culverts.
They quickly moved from mopping up to holding on.
Reach the road.
Today, roadways became waterways as the flood quickly gained in size and speed.
It's overflowed the culverts and it's already starting to go through people's yards.
Yards already damaged in a series of severe storms.
Most of us now do have weather radios and so on, so we've been paying close attention to those as well as watching the mountain. As we know, once it starts raining on the mountain, this is what's going to happen.
In a neighborhood where people are getting used to a life lived in fear.
Even when the work is done, I mean, this is going to happen again and again. Our house is in the wrong spot.
They haven't just been hit hard, they've been hit often. The reason is the Schultz fire, which happened about a month ago on the mountain behind me. Since the vegetation burned off, the water just flows down. When it does, it heads straight for these homes. Live in Flagstaff, Hannahmullins, 12 News.
Hannahmullins shares his story.
How do you describe the horror?
I've been in disasters all over the world for the past 13 years, and this just dwarfs all of them.
Piles of people dead.
And the smell of death is everywhere.
Some survivors near death, others seem dead inside.
As you drive through Port-au-Prince, you see people on the sides of the road walking and obviously in shock.
One of the reasons Randy Roberson knew he had to help. Working out of a collapsed hotel, Roberson is providing high-tech aid through a mobile medical center.
There's such a huge need and such a limited number of doctors and nurses.
Local doctors view vital signs and diagnose problems in real time via satellite.
in virtually looking over our shoulder, guiding us, saying, do this, try that, put pressure here.
Roberson also provided a purified water system for a desperate orphanage. When he found them, they were down to just a bag of beans and half a bag of rice.
My overall focus is really hinged to a piece of scripture in Isaiah 58.
While many may wonder where God is during a disaster, Roberson relies on religion.
In every one of these disasters that I've been to, I see God working, miraculously in many different ways.
It's like angels. The night before, you was wondering, well, is anybody going to come?
Roberson did come, and he's going back to Haiti. In Payson, Hannahmullins, 12 News.
Hannahmullins has already gotten a first-hand look at all of that. She continues our team coverage from Belmont right now. Hannah?
Well, and Sue, powerful storms have pounded Coconino County for the past 3 days. The most severe, though, was this morning. Now, these tornadoes have toppled trailers, shattered glass, uprooted trees, and people. 2 tornadoes back to back.
I've never seen anything like this. I lived in Arizona all my life.
Shocked by the sight and awed by the sound.
Oh, my wife and I were woken up by what sounded like a freight train coming in our bedroom. You can see where our garage door had collapsed in. And after I knew the house was okay, I wanted to come over and check out the store.
A store that's taken shape of a junkyard.
There's carnage everywhere. There's parts and pieces of travel trailers out in the middle of the highway, and it's pretty sad.
A frightening force you just can't fight.
It's just getting away from whatever's coming at you, so all the wind, and you're just really scared.
The fist of Mother Nature too powerful for even the sturdiest of structures.
It's devastating. Windows are broken, cars are turned upside down, fences are gone. There's half houses, like 2-story houses, where the top story's gone.
It was a very frightening and scary experience.
Now, each of these trailers weighs between 8,000 and 10,000 pounds. So if you think about the force it would take to flip one of them, you get an idea of the sheer strength of these storms. Live in Belmont, Hannahmullins, 12 News.
Thanks, Hannah.